Race tonight, Texas Motor Speedway, 40 laps, daytime race. So the guys are qualifying right now, and we're going to kind of head over to the track. We're going to kind of watch and see what kind of qualifying times they get. I was on the track for a little bit, and very good, pretty good grip with the new build and everything. So kind of excited. Hope the guys do really well tonight. So let's head over. Richard Losper on the pole with a 29.833. Very good lap by Richard. Chris Kessler was fastest in practice. Chris had a 29.899, which Richard topped in qualifying. So could be qualifying tape on there, get just that little bit of extra oomph to you. So good job by Richard taking the pole so far. So I'm showing about 9 drivers out there. Only 8 have qualified so far. Coming down, we got about a minute left to qualifying here.
User was moved to your
Hey, Matt.
channel.
Hey, what's going on, Rudy?
Sorry, I had to put a lock on this channel so people didn't come in here, you know, when you were broadcasting. I just happened to look and seen you were in here.
Yeah, I'm trying to. There's a glitch right now with the spotter thing. I'm actually spotting Chris's truck, and he's having a hard time getting into his garage to make changes while I'm in here.
Oh, man. Yeah, there's quite a few bugs I've noticed with this build. So you put your setup in, and the thing's like it keeps glitching back and forth between fail and okay. It's weird. Oh, I thought it was only 5 minutes qualifying. You got 10. Okay. Sorry about that. I said that. My bad. I thought we only had 5 minutes. So we've got about 4 minutes left on qualifying now.
A wave round or two if need be. Again, same thing as last time, just one per person per race, and you can stay out and let the iRacing wave you around. But I got a pretty good turnout in here today, so that's about it. Everybody's done qualifying. I don't see any reason why we So as you guys know, next week we go to the final for the season. It's a 3-race final, all in one night. It's going to start at the same time, 9 o'clock. We're doing 15 laps at Talladega, 15 laps at Charlotte, and 15 laps here at Texas for the finishing. With that one, it's depending on time. We're going to do another practice one either this week or sometime early next week and see if we want to do cautions on those 15 laps or increase it to 20 laps and do no cautions, or just 15 and no cautions. So we'll see. But right now it's sitting at 15 laps for each of those events.
Matt giving them last-minute instructions here, going over the schedule for the league races. So, and he is now advancing to the next session. We're going to be going to racing here right directly as soon as the car's grid. So Richard Losber on the pole. In the number 74. In second place, the 01 of Chris Kessler. In third, the number 37 of Brian Vandenheck. In fourth, the number 98 of Seth Hellman. In fifth, one of our new league members, the number 34, Michael Koenig. In sixth, another new league member, the number 30 of Ed Hewitt. In seventh, the number 55 of Blah Martins. In eighth, the 22 of R.D. Miller. And I believe taking up the tail end of the field, Brian Wood. But I don't see him on the track yet. He may be starting from the pits.
Hey, Richard, you there?
Yes, sir.
Congratulations goes to Richard Losber for grabbing that pole. Good job, Richard. pace car leads him around. Richard Losper pulling the whole field around here. Coming into turn 3. When we come out of turn 4, pace car will duck off, and we're going to green flag racing. We'll get the green flag here in just a moment. Pace car ducks off. Richard brings him to the line and green flag. Richard pulling out to a little bit of a lead here. We got the 01 of Chris Kessler trying to get caught back up to him here. The truck's finally starting signaling out a little bit, going into turn 3. Brian Vandenheck staying a little bit on that high side, trying to get a run on Chris Kessler. Out of fourth position, he does take that second position away from Chris Kessler. Seth Hellman running into fourth position. Michael Koenig there running into fifth. Ed Hewitt sixth. Back here, R.D. Miller falling off the pace a little bit. Not sure what's going on here. Safe, I guess. Oh, and Ed Hewitt getting loose. He saves it, though. He's heated up those tires, no caution. He heated up those tires really bad, though. Richard just continues to pull away from the field. Out to a 1.2 second, 1.3 second lead over second place Chris Kessler now. So Richard continuing to dominate here. Lap 4 in the books. Lap race, a long ways to go. Working on lap number 5. And they will have to make a pit stop. They do have a shortened fuel load. Is that not correct, Matt?
That's correct, yeah. The percentage of fuel load mirrors the number of laps, so in this case it's 40% fuel.
Ooh, man. So we're definitely going to see at least one pit stop, maybe 2.
We're going to probably see a lot of gambling. I know I'm spotting for the 01 truck, and his remark to me was, "I'm probably not going to take tires if I don't have to."
Okay. So could be a good call by the 01 of Chris Kessler. Maybe try not to take any tires. I noticed the truck does have a lot of grip on the track tonight. I don't know if you noticed that or not.
Yeah, it does look pretty stable. We ran a couple practice races before the bill came out, and there was a lot of guys scrubbing the wall, but other than Ed getting a tiny bit loose, as you can see his tire marks there in turn 1, everyone seems to be running pretty well. Spaced out pretty good.
Yeah. And, and this is what I say, a lot of weeks, Matt, is, you got a long race, and you're going to have green flag pit stops. Race the track for a while. When it comes down to the end of, you get about 10 to go, then go out and start racing each other. Race that track, get the laps run down, and you're going to have a lot cleaner races that way.
Like you said, it's a pretty long race, 40 laps. There's only 2 quick resets on this one, so you never know how that goes if guys are going to really let it hang out the first 5 or so laps and try to get that track position, knowing that if something happens, there'll be a caution. They still have a way to go. But this one, you don't know. It's for a couple laps there. The 01 was closing up on the 74, but it looks like now 74 is kind of pulling away again.
still continuing to follow up the end of the field here. Could be on just a total different pit strategy here. Might be saving his tires, maybe saving a little bit of fuel. He seems to be running really well. He's got a good line run on the track, so good luck to you there, buddy. Hope you get caught back up to the field. So, Ed, they're slipping a little bit in the turn. Cost him a little bit. I think he caught the apron a little, but he seems to be okay now. He's got those tires pulled back off, and he seems to be running all right now. And that is for the 7th position. Michael Koenig, very strong runner here. And he's kind of saving a little bit of his stuff too, I think. So, I think a lot of the drivers are saving their equipment right now, saving their tires a little bit. 55 of Blah Martins gets by Brian Vandenheck, and that is for position.
So really interesting thing there with the qualifying. You look at the qualifying order, and Brian put down a pretty good scorcher of a lap at 30.247. And on the other hand, Blau qualified a little bit slower, and kind of a role reversal there. That's one of the things Brian comments on. He says, Texas is going to be the death of him. And he qualifies well, but he has a hard time with the consistent laps. But he's still holding his own pretty well. He's night and day difference between how he ran here about 2 weeks ago in a practice session we had.
Definitely. I struggle here myself, Matt. Not one of my favorite tracks. See Richard pulling out to about a 2.1 second lead over Chris Kessler now. So, wow, Richard really showing some muscle here tonight. Wow. Great job by Richard.
He's definitely pulling out a pretty good lead there. Looks like it's going to take something drastic to affect maybe a pit road penalty or even a spin or getting caught behind some lap traffic.
Well, I'll tell you, Matt, I don't expect to see any cautions here tonight. I really don't. These guys are that good. This build is very good. The trucks seem to be very stable on the track. If we would get a caution, I believe it might be just a self-spin. I don't think it's going to be, like a tanglement of a couple different trucks together. I think it's just going to be self-spin.
Yeah, I agree. I think the only thing we'll see here, pit road entry here is pretty treacherous. It's on that sweeping turn out of 4. And I could see maybe an incident, somebody coming in and just getting a little too hot and spinning out across the track, or possibly somebody coming off the pit road and just looping it. Usually the ones exiting pit road don't bring out the caution, whereas the entry does, because gravity pulls that track up and out onto the surface.
I know you couldn't see me shaking my head yes, but I was in total agreement with you, buddy. Sitting here shaking my head the whole time you were talking. Yep, you're right. See, Blah Martin's pulling up on the back end of Seth Hellman here now. This would be for position. Blah showing a little bit of strength here in the early going. They didn't qualify well, but wow, man, he's reeling in these trucks. Distance themselves from Brian Vandenheck by quite a little bit.
I'm looking at the lap times here from lap 2, which was Richard's fastest at a 30.252, to his lap 16, which he just completed, which is a 31.1. So just a little less than a second fall off right now, 17 laps into this race.
That's pretty good. So we should be seeing pit stops here probably before long, I believe. If it was me, I would go probably to about the halfway mark and stop. But that's just me. I know you're crew chiefing for Chris Kessler, and you all have your own agenda. But I'm just saying, if it was me, I would think about it about the halfway mark. And probably at least go in and maybe take right side tires, top off the fuel tank, and be out of there, and I would be good for the rest of the race.
He's been relatively quiet on the radio. The only thing he said in the beginning laps was his strategy. If it stays green, he's probably not going to take tires. If If there's a caution, he'll probably grab 4.
Yeah, that would be a very good move. Blah Martins does get by Seth Hellman in that fourth position. So Blah moving up into the 3rd position now. And setting his sights on catching up to Chris Kessler. He's showing about 3.5 seconds behind Chris Kessler. And Chris Kessler really, man, he's putting it down here tonight.
34 pulls off out of turn 4. Really, really quick pin entry. He made it, didn't speed, and he's coming down right now. I'm going to watch him, and I'll give you a report if he takes 2 or 4. So it looks like the 34. He's been pretty good on the pits. He can calculate it pretty well. And the first one is going to be in.
He's taking right side tire. I'm right on him, Matt, and he's taking all 4. So might be a good call by him, but we know, Matt, a lot of races can be won or lost in the pits, and that might have cost him the race, but you never know.
And the 74 and the 01 is in. They're both taking right sides. 01 is out, and the 74 takes left sides. Got the 30 truck of Ed Hewitt in also. He took right sides, and he's out.
22 right side, and he's out too. Wow, these guys are different pit strategies by everyone. Blah's in now. See what he does. He's taking right sides. The 98's taking right sides. Brian Vandenheck's taking right sides.
All 4 for the 55. 4 tire stop for the 55. 4 tire stop for the 98.
And a 2 tire by Brian Vandenheck. So a lot of different strategies. Wow. So as they cycle around here, let's get an eyeball on who's the leader. I'm showing Blah in the lead right now, but I don't believe everybody has crossed that line yet. Once everybody gets cycled around here, and we'll get caught up with whoever the leader is.
Looks to be the 01 is the leader right now.
Yes, sir. And he does have a 6-second lead over Richard Losper, a previous leader. That's a lot.
Brian Vandenheck holding strong in 3rd place right now. You can tell he really needed that track position with that 2 tire stop, and it seems to be working out for him.
Richard reeled in Chris by just about 3/10, about 2.5 tenths. So maybe Richard's got a little something for Chris. Not sure. We're going to have to wait and see how this plays out. Lap 20, coming to lap 25. So well past halfway. Richard.
Pretty good battle right now, coming for 6th place, and looks like Ed Hewitt's going to go high and let him by. No protest there.
Good call.
And the 98 is Seth Hellman. He is really digging hard, and he's gunning for that 5th spot right now. Seth Hellman is really smooth off the corners. You can watch him just really reel in the 34 truck of Michael Koenig.
Yeah. Michael Koenig was really strong in that race that he had the other night. And, I'm not seeing the strength here tonight that he was showing the other night.
He may have made some adjustments to his setup. It's not working out for him, but Seth gets him on the low side of exiting turn 2.
Ed Hewitt challenging him on that 4th position too. Ed staying on the low side going into turn 3. Michael Koenig giving him all the room he needs, and he does complete that pass. Good job by Ed getting by Michael. He's racing really hard here and racing very clean around each other. And I know that's what you like to see, Matt.
Oh, absolutely. I'm watching back up to Richard now. He's still riding in second position, and he's just about a little over 5 seconds back.
Yeah, he's cut off about another 0.7 of a second on Chris. So whatever Chris did there, I'm not sure. He only did 2 tire changes, didn't he?
That's correct. He did a right side only.
Okay. So maybe that was a good call.
Richard did 4 tire stop.
Ah, okay. That's why he's so far back, son. But it might be such a thing. Chris has got enough of a lead here that he can maintain right up to the end of the race. So that could have been a good call. 2 tire change for Chris Kessler.
We're just about 11 laps to go. I don't think, unless the truck really starts to get away from the 0-1, I don't think Richard's going to have enough time to get by him.
I believe you're right. Richard trying to reel him in here.
So I'll give you an idea of the difference in the pit stops here. The 0-1's pit lap was 57.297 seconds, and the 2 truck of Richard Losper was 1 minute and 6 seconds. So quite a bit extra time there to grab those 4 tires.
Right. Chris really hitting his marks, and that's very important here at Texas. You've got to be consistent, hit your marks every time. You cannot falter, not one time. Somebody's going to be right on the tail. So good job by Chris. Good call on his pit stops. 2 tire change could be the deciding factor of this race. This time by will be starting lap 32. 9 laps to go.
Looking at Richard's lap times here, he's about 31 seconds flat these last 4 laps. And Chris Kessler's just about a 31.1.
Richard's cut off quite a bit more time. He's cut off another 7/10 on him. So he's down to 4.3 seconds behind him. So I don't know. He could reel him in. Cut off a 0.5 second a lap on him. Could reel him in.
Chris is coming into some lap traffic now. The truck of R.D. Miller, I believe, is coming up too. So a couple different things here. You know, Chris can pretend that's the first place guy and really use that to focus and get in there. I think he just went up and scrubbed the wall, as I saw from the camera view there. I think the 22 got into the wall a little bit. So definitely, if I was the 0-1, I wouldn't be looking at my relative right now. I'd just be concentrating on my line and trying to keep up there in the laps.
Well, he's doing very good out there for maintaining that position. Let's see, Richard's cut off another 0.5 second. So he's down to 3.9 seconds. Well, 0.3 of a second. 3.9 seconds behind Chris now. So Richard's coming.
Yeah, definitely. This 0-1 truck, his lap times are definitely falling off. He's in the last 4 have been 31.2, 31.3, and back to the 2s. So he's definitely babying that truck. A lot more throttle control now, but he's a pretty good driver when it comes to throttle control on some worn out tires.
Richard only gained about a 1/10 on him on that lap. So at that pace, he's not going to catch him. But it's going to be a very, very good race. A good call by these guys. Taking the 2 tire change, man, that was pretty awesome. Five laps to go. Next time by, be 4 laps to go.
Just noticed the 48 truck of Brian Wood. He went behind the wall, and he was the recipient of our first ever AA Main Racing door prize, which is, I asked the pole sitter, pick a number between 1 and 9, which is the registered trucks for the race, and he picked the 9, which would have been you, but you're up in the broadcast booth, so we moved it over to the 10th qualifier, which was Brian Wood.
Very good, very good. So Richard Losberg clicking off another 0.3 of a second, not much. And I don't believe he's going to make it because this time by coming to lap 38. 3 laps to go.
The 01 can get this done. I think it'll really help him out in the points. I think he's sitting 5th or 6th right now in points. He got disconnected for a series of laps last week at Charlotte, and that really hurt his finishing order. I think he was ready for a top 3, and that really hurt him. But he's doing pretty good right now.
Yep, and 2 laps to go right now, Matt. So these guys really putting down some good laps here. Richard trying to reel him in, but just not enough time left in the race. So taking 4 tires was, that kind of hurt Richard. Blah Martin's running in the 3rd spot. Got Brian Vandenheck running in 4th. Seth Hellman 5th. Ed Hewitt 6th.
We got a crash in the backstretch.
Oh no, who was that?
I believe it was a 37 truck. He saved it, maintained control, but his steering's hurting. He's going up high, so it's going to finish on a green.
Good deal, good deal. That's what we like to see. Chris Kessler coming around for the win, coming out of turn 3, 4. Here he comes, coming to the checkered flag. So Chris Kessler wins our race here at Texas tonight, 40 laps. Very good job by Chris. Wow, man, what a job. I want to see him do a burnout there, Matt. We got to get that on the broadcast here. Got to give us a good burnout. So while he's getting ready for his burnout, we're going to run over the finishing order here. Chris Kessler coming home first, Richard Losberg second, Blah Martins in 3rd, Seth Hellman 4th, Ed Hewitt 5th, Michael Koenig in 6th, R.D. Miller 7th, Brian Vandenheck 8th, and Brian Wood finishing out the top of the list, or the bottom of the list, in 9th place. So Chris gives us his burnout. Go get him, Chris. Light that baby up.
Good racing, fellas.
Hey, thanks for the host, Matt.
No problem. My pleasure, Ed. So it was kind of cool, man, watching the racing from up here in the booth with Rudy, watching the difference between 2 tires and 4 tires, and it's pretty exciting.
Chris Kessler, this is Rudy Cummings in the booth. You got a copy?
4 laps, Richard would have got me for sure.
Chris Kessler, this is Rudy Cummings in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I lost it.
Everybody keeps walking all over me.
Where'd you get 4, Richard?
Yeah, I got you on
Yeah,
race
it's
control,
full
Rudy,
and
so you're going to
fuel.
have to hit that one so they don't talk over you.
See, my game plan in the beginning was at the race was to take none, but I was that close to you and you were pulling away in the beginning, so I said, let me try to get 2. I said, worst comes to worst, I'll finish second. Then I went blowing past you in the pits. I was like, oh no, you're getting 4.
Chris Kessler, this is Rudy Cummings in the booth. You got a copy?
Second none. My tires were actually quite good at the end there. At the end of the first
I'm not going to
stint,
get an interview.
and
in.
I thought, take 4, 2, 1. And I opted to take 4, thinking I had enough of a break on you, but I didn't. and you did very, very well there. So good on you, buddy.
Hey guys, can I get an interview in here?
This is tough.
I can't.
Yeah, Rudy, I got you, buddy.
Yeah, hey, good call on the 2-tire change there, and you know, we were watching. Richard was catching you, but there just wasn't enough laps for him to reel you in and get by you. He did a 4-tire change, and obviously a 2-tire change here meant a lot in track position. But congratulations coming home in the top spot tonight, buddy.
Yeah, I didn't think I had nothing for him there, and then I pulled out first after the 2 tires, and I knew he was getting 4, so I had to step on it pretty good. I knew he was going to catch me for sure, though, but I guess I got kind of lucky there.
Well, all in all, a very good race, caution-free, 40 laps. Had to make green flag pit stops, and you dominated after making a 2-tire pit stop. Man, that was just awesome to watch. So congratulations again.
Thanks, Rudy.
Richard Losper, this is Rudy Cummings in the booth. You got a copy?
I do, sir. I do.
Well, congratulations coming home second place, Richard. Do you think maybe taking the 4 tires was a mistake, or do you think it was a good call by your crew chief, or can you kind of fill us in on what happened there?
Well, Rudy, I got to tell you, the crew chief is currently looking for a new job because he got fired just then. Look, it was definitely a mistake taking the 4 tires. I should have taken 2 at the most, or none at all, because I had a really good lead. I think with the lead that I had over Chris, if I'd taken no tires, I probably would have maintained enough distance between us. But congratulations to Chris. He did a wonderful job getting into the pits, getting out ahead of me, and then staying out in front of me.
Well, thank you, Richard, and congratulations again, buddy, coming home second place. You dominated the first half of that race, and we really thought you were going to pull it off. I mean, you had quite a lead over Chris there for, well, the first half of the race. But you doing a 4-tire pit change and him doing a 2 might have cost you the race, you know, but congratulations again, coming home second, buddy.
Thank you, Rudy.
Okay, and that'll do it for this week's race at Texas Motor Speedway. And running order again, Chris Kessler coming home the winner, Richard Losper in second, Blah Martins in the number 55 coming home third, Seth Hellman in fourth, Ed Hewitt fifth, Michael Koenig 6th, R.D. Miller in 7th, Brian Vandenheck in 8th, and Brian Wood in 9th. So we will see you next week. And do we know where we're running next week, Matt? Okay, he's muted. All right, well, that'll wrap it up for A Main Racing then. And we will see you next week.